talking about some goddamn boobies tonight. Uh, we're we're talking honkers of balance. All right, hold on. I'm gonna send us to the Twitch just chatting hot tub category, and then we'll play the rest of the game. No, I um I opened Twitch today to set up the stream, and it's just like boobs just everywhere across the front page, and I'm just like, that's fine. That's fine, I guess. I guess that's what we do here now. Yeah, uh, fine with me. Yeah. Um, it could just be my thing of just recommending, hey, Emmy, what do you want to see? We we have an echo that listens in your room. um, ooh. Um, go ahead. Oh, I was looking for my dice. I forgot I actually need them for this game. All right, let's get this thing because my boobs don't have opposable thumbs. Um, actually, I think that's pretty normal. You should probably see a doctor. Okay. Anyways, hello and welcome to the stream. We're Ilderon Tales. We're playing Tales and Twists tonight. This is Blades of Balance, Saga 16, or Session 16, Saga 1 of their campaign. Everything you're going to see tonight is live storytelling. If you're under the age of 14, stop, talk to your parents because you're going to see content inappropriate for you. Um, yeah. Let's do the recap. I'm just going to read straight from my notes. Um, and then we will land wherever we land. So last session started, Shirogane had just been informed that they were planning to kill the scroll bearer in a ritualistic fight to the death. Um, and it started with Shirogane running down the hall looking for Rei, calling for Kenjiro. The party met up and decided to split up and look for Rei after Shiro told them the monastery leader's plans. Miyuki and Sai went to the Eye of Judgment Sanctum. Ahiro went to research. Kenjiro went to find Cass. Shirogane continued to search the monastery. Kenjiro didn't find Rei, but found Sister Kazmel, who was meditating after getting mad at the other order leaders. Um, Shirogane found Ahiro's sister, Indra Kiko, looking for a hero, and Kiko was here to stop a quote-unquote renegade scroll bearer. And Shirogane brought her to a hero. A hero did some research. There is a precedent that the scroll bearer can get out of their. Oh, so these are the two things a hero found out. Um, I know I'm reading this like I've seen this for the first time. I swear to God, I read this earlier today, but my brain is reprocessing all of it. There's a precedent that the scroll bearer can get out of their oaths through other definitions of death. Um, there is a precedent for the interpretation of the oath being expanded during a scroll bearer's term. And the story Shiro or a hero found about that was the a husband died who was a scroll bearer, and his wife took up the responsibility until she also died. Um, and he was married before, though he had became the scroll bearer. Kiko was a character trait of Kiko was that she's easily distracted, but she felt bad for Ray and would take it easy on the scroll bearer. She left with a potent note. It is possible to love someone so much that they become a part of you. In the Eye of Judgment Sanctum, Ray was getting ready for her fight and was surprised that the party came to help her. Shirogane brought Cass and Sable to the Sanctum. Cass fought with Ray. Cass thinks Ray is being stupid and didn't think this through. And Ray won't let Cass fight because she would be distracted. Ray's statement, if we're not going to be friends and I can't date you because of my oaths, then one of those things has to change. The rest of the party eventually came to support Ray. The fight started. Team 1 was Iwa, Enzabeth, Yuhara, and Hiroki. Oh yeah, because it's a 4-on-4 now. So my notes go horizontal instead of vertical. Good to know. Master Traley is overseeing the fight. The party knocked out Iwa and Yuhara. Enzabeth chained Shirogane to... Oh yeah, he is chained in flaming bonds right now. Yeah. Ray pinned Hiroki to the ground and held her against Enzabeth's flames. Enzabeth was blinded by Shiro. Hiro entered the sanctum with Sister Casmel and debated with Master Adric that the Scrollbearer's oath needs to be allowed to change. Master Adric relented, and that's where we left off last. Okay, so there is there are some banners in play currently. I will read them. I just need to get my head on about some stuff. Shirogane. Technically, if I'm being fair, this is a new scene and your sturdy has reset. As it is the start of a new session. But I feel like as this is like a continuation of the last scene, I think I want to keep all the tension of the last scene going. So yeah. Well, I was going to say, I will let you have sturdy, but when you sturdy something, I'm still going to inflict a minor injury to you. Or if you want to just say no sturdy for the story, I'm down with that. But I want to, make sure I'm being fair by the rules. Man, fuck Shirogane, I'm killing this dude tonight. Okay, no sturdy. Let's do that as the thing. Yeah, sometimes we figure it out in the moment. There Okay. Which ability? Uh Looks like you can speak Kingle and sign language is 3 points. So sign language shouldn't be on there. That's an ability that you have. Any language you can speak, you can communicate silently. A creature needs to be able to read the language you use in order to understand your signs. So yeah, you should just have Common Tongue and Kingle on there, but that's fine. I'm you're it shouldn't be too bad. You should be good. Yeah. I'll tinker with it after the session. I'll put it in my notes. Okay. There are lay banners active. 500 of them, in fact. The secret banner is revealed, so I'm just going to play it. Or not play it, put it in your chat. We got ritualistic fight. A list of 12 people have been made to kill Rey and relieve her of her oath. They enter the fight 4x4 and won't stop until they are knocked out or claim Rey's life. This banner gains 10 resolve every time a competitor enters the fight. This banner loses 5 resolve every time a competitor takes an injury tier. Every competitor rolls 1d10 as their contest die and may add 1d4 to a roll once every short duration. That resolve is wrong. Oh no, that banner started at like 40 resolve, got to 80, down to 60. It's right. Okay. No doubt. Rey's stamina. No doubt Rey is the best there is when it comes to technique and martial arts. She is, however, still only human and has limits. Rey loses 10 resolve for every foe she defeats. The party gains a new action, cheer. Make a contest roll against the hostess. On a success, Rey gains a roll of your passion die as resolve. This fight, healing isn't cheating. There are people standing off to the side of this fight, healing the people Rey knocks out of the arena. The fight is won when when no competitor is capable of continuing to fight Rey. That doesn't mean just once. Fighters who are knocked out heal 2 injury tiers every short duration. With all that said, Rey is currently holding Hiroki down into the fires. And Hiroki is going to tap, 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 yielding before Rey releases her. Where do we want to start in this big ass scene? You know what? I think I know the perfect place to start. As we are watching this fight, and we have the party on one side of the room, Kenjiro and Sable and Kaz watching with excitement and fear. Miyuki is fighting, Sai is fighting, and Shirogane is fighting in the center of the ring as we keep panning through the ring, through Rey releasing this lady, or this lady, teenager, grabs her by the arm, throws her out of the arena, sending her stumbling. Elizabeth staring down, or not staring down, flailing without her vision as Shirogane burns in front of her, just crackling flames. To the other side of the match, a hero debating with the Orieth leaders and the band of list fighters waiting to go in, arms crossed, watching all of this. We have Indra Kiko and her apprentice, a lady, a lady by the name of Tamaki. Zoe, will you give us a description of Tamaki? Yeah. um, Andrew Kiko arms cross a kind of stronger, more burly built adventuring woman is going to um, point a finger and say, I kind of expected this to be a clown show, but it's actually a good learning opportunity. You see how she had that hold right there on the ground? As soon as she lost her, as soon as Hiroki lost her leg, kicked out from under her, she couldn't get out of that grip. You need your hips to break one like that. Your knee up, hips twisting. She'll look over at you and say, "You paying attention, Tomiki?" She'll point to a hero talking to Master Adric. Um, him over there. That's my brother. Um, I told him I'd take it easy on your friend. She's going to shrug and says, "Honestly, I think that little girl's going to break my arm, but um, should be a good match if it gets to go off. Look at his face." She says as she's looking over to Master Adric's face. Um, what do you think they're talking about? Back in 973 AE, when Queen Iserdard of. She starts mocking um, a hero's voice as he's talking to Master Adric. um, Wait, say that again? I think she starts laughing, and then Hiroki goes stumbling and tumbling by you guys as Ray just threw her out of the ring. Um, and yeah, her attention kind of snaps back up. Elizabeth is the only fighter left of this team, and she's blinded. Kiko is gonna say, "I guess that means I'm on deck. Look, um, before I go out there, um, I think some stuff is happening at this monastery. The fact we're killing a scroll bearer, I don't know, it's all gone to shit. Um, but I need you to look after my brother. When I leave, I'm not going to take you with me this time, okay? Doesn't mean your training's done. Just means there is a lot for you to learn here." She's gonna start rolling her shoulders as she steps forward with the next group to like get ready to enter the ring. All right, now watch and learn. And let's go to what's happening in the. What's up? uh, she'll hold up a hand of like, "Nah, got this." Um, let's go back to what's happening in the ring. Um, Shirogane, I feel like it's only right to start with you as you see Ray holding this lady's or this other girl's like face into the flames of your bonds. They keep re-knitting themselves around her face until she finally yields, and Ray pulls her out at the last second and kicks her and sends her stumbling out of the ring. Um, what do you want to do? I think you have a moment. And this moment is for two things. At the end of this moment, you will be burned again. And then also, at this moment, if you want any sort of vengeance against Elizabeth, you have three people squaring down against this blinded Elizabeth that you need to get out of here and claim, your portion of this fight before they do. What would you like to do? Okay. Yeah. Um, Go ahead and roll a recall action. I think I'll contest you on this. And you'll still get information on tiers of five. I'll give you very specific information on if you beat a seven. I rolled it on a balanced tier. Um, you found it? Okay. So, if you see yourself in the top right of the screen, your character's icon, if you click that, you should have a tools thing, and then the tools should give you some actions. Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Hey, um, yeah, you are going to think on this. It is hard to come up with like any set plan on what the spells or runes are, how to break them in smart people's speak. The only thing you can understand about this is that I feel like this is too much information for tier one, but I think I'm still gonna give it to you for tier one. Um, the only thing you can understand about this is that the chains keep reforming and finding you and pulling you back to the ground. So like even when Ray had that body in it, they reformed around her, um, and pulled you back down. So the chains must have some way of sensing you. You're not sure how. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, um what's that look like for Shiro? What's the source of his divinity? Okay. Um I'm not going to make you roll. I think you find that connection with your sword and from it you draw just a little bit of strength. Um, and you gain 1 lay mana. Okay. See, I'm going I'm going to ideally save you. Or not save you, but give you a hint here. You actually have a 3 out of 8 chance. There are more senses in TNT than just the 5 base senses. Um, you gotta guess. Shout out E for Rygar. Yeah. I will allow you to metagame if you can remember every ability that gives you an additional sense. Um, then you know what's what. But yeah, you get to pick 3, but I I the die you missed was knowing the mechanical traits that were affecting this. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah. At that, um, I think these chains. So that doesn't break the chains. That stops the chains from, I think, finding you within here. And I think that they're still on you, but you feel significantly more freedom. Like, as. Okay, you're running from the spell? Give me a move action, and I think I'm going to contest you on the easy tier. You're trying to beat a 4. Wait, typed or say Walaha he? Hey! Why am I chat? Does anybody want to help? Um, yeah, that's fair. All right. Um, no, not that one. Oh yeah, Ray has it. Oh yeah, yeah. They still have Drag 1. I need to remember that. Nobody's revelated so far tonight. I haven't revelated either, so yeah. Elizabeth is blind as all get out right now. Okay. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to resolve your moment, Shirogane. Um, and uh, I will give you guys you have another moment as Ray begins running, and leaps into the air. What would you guys like to do? Because the D20 is coming next. All right. Um, if you guys are just waiting, um, Ray flips into the air. She rolls an 11 against Elizabeth, who rolls an 8 and then adds her 1d4. She can add once per scene. And she gets a Elizabeth gets a 10. And you already. Oh, well, I guess I should subtract like 3 for her right now for losing her sense. Um, so that's going to be a 7. It's not a great success, so I'm not going to do a major injury tier. But Ray gets all of the power into her foot in this flip, and brings it straight down onto Elizabeth's head. I think at the last second, Elizabeth turns to the side and Ray catches her um, right between like her neck and clavicle. Um, and she Oh, I a poorly disguised One Piece fan? I fucking love One Piece. At least the live action and One Piece. Um, but yeah, that's another injury tier, and I think Elizabeth is incapable of fighting while blinded, and she is going to yield rather than taking another injury. Um, and yeah, um, that is this round of the fight one. 4 more competitors square off against all of you guys. Um, let's jump over to a hero. Um, and yeah, a hero, Master Adric, looks a little bit sad that he's not going to get to square off against his pupil. I'll talk to Master Traley. Um, Traley's uh, honorance of tradition is more staunch. But I agree, you raise very promising points. This perhaps should be handled in a council chamber rather than a ring. Um, and he's going to go from standing straight up to hunch just a little bit and waddling towards Master Traley. Um, the two of them talk for a moment before Traley finally and exhaustedly says, Ray of no family, of no name, is the winner. We won't put in another team. Um, and I think that there is a bit of silence um, in the chamber. Um, those of the loss, please see me tonight in the dinner hall. I'll get you different assignments while you're at the monastery. He's going to look at you with like it is. I want to convey the right level of microaggression here. Um, it's just like from toe, from like toe, eyes to your face, down to your like, looks down at your toes, and then like that slow scan up, and then languidly turns his head to Casmel and says, "No, you're hers, aren't you? If I have need for you, we'll see if you're feeling cooperative in the future." He raises a hand, bows his head, and he's going to turn and leave the sanctum. A very unceremonious ending to this fight. Um, at which point, say that again. uh, all right. Um, I'm going to take the healing isn't cheating out of play. That banner wasn't resolved. Um, but it is done. Um, raise stamina. You guys stopped the fight. You guys completed that banner. Everybody mark one help action. And ritualistic fight. I'm going to take that one out of play as you guys will resolve it as the arena is empty of list competitors for a short duration. So everybody mark two help actions. Um, yeah, you guys have resources now. Um, all right. Uh, oh, come on, Emmy. I'm also learning new alchemy, and I'm like looking for where I handle this stuff. We do this, select, and then music. Edit. Oh, come on. We go. Hey, I made this song. I did. Oh yeah. um, let's see. This one is one of my favorites. Is that playing? Should. There we go. Okay. Yeah. The fight is over. There is a bit um of like reluctance to leave and step away from the ring. Um, and a after a few minutes, they will have Hiroki back able to stand again. Not all of her wounds and bruises are fixed, just enough that she's not going to have significant burn wounds or anything major from the fire. Elizabeth will look at you guys as you take the arena and says, "Looks like it's another trip to the healer's sanctum for me." Um, and otherwise, Master Adric is going to call Ray from the center of the arena, who is just kind of breathing, standing in shock, not really sure what this means or what's been done. He'll say, "Young scroll bearer, a word." Um, Ray will bow to the competitors as they all head off and go and talk with Master Adric. Everybody else, what are you doing? And Laura's prediction of more dicks out comes true. Laura's prediction last session: dicks out, love wins. Okay, yeah. A hero. I think I feel like you're standing on the other side of the arena, um, next to the competitors who are all dissipating where the lists were like um, being formed at. You're free to go anywhere or do whatever you want, but yeah, you see Sai walking up to you. I do want to say, as you were saying this, um, you guys are going to see Indrakiku hold up her hand and one finger to her apprentice and start walking over to your group. To the two of you. I will give you still time to continue saying. I just want to say you guys won't be alone for much longer. Asanji. Indrakiko gives a very slight bow towards you. Good moves. Shame I didn't get to dance on the other side of them. Um, brother, she looks to a hero. Um, that little monastery acolyte I borrowed, she points to her princess. Um, um, she is a fucking drag. Seeing the world didn't do what I thought it would for her, and I'm doubting if I can actually be of help to her. This shit was impressive. You got them to thought. You found different angles. Um, can I leave her here with you for a bit to see if maybe that some of that can rub off on her? I'll be back in a season for her. She's gonna say, not a library, but I don't know, thrill, adventure, blood rushing, blood rushing quests and stories didn't shake her like I thought they would. Um, there's probably something I'm not seeing, and you were always better at seeing this shit than me. It's not defeat. This is me trying something else. And if it succeeds, I'm taking credit. So so uh she's going to be helping you out, a hero. Um and Drakiko's going to put up a hand in mouth words towards a hero. Um and something to the effect of she thinks she'll be helping you. Thank you. And yeah, she's going to look down at you, Tomiki, and she's going to say, "I'll be around the monastery, um, maybe for a few more days, um, but you have been a great apprentice, and I'll be back for you um, when, let's say, your internship here is done. Um, maybe on the next twin moon." No, 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 no. A hero has lots of things and lots of danger that he's going to need someone as well trained as you helping out with. um, oh, of course. Um, I'm not technically a member of the loss. I just help out. Um, hmm, mm, Traley's fine. Everybody needs a hard ass every now and then to keep things running. Can you say that sentence to me one more time? I missed the first word. Bonds. Um, yeah. I think she'll give you a heft pat on the shoulder. Um, and so, yeah, I'll think about telling him to fuck himself next time he asks me to do something like this. Seriously? Thought the scroll bearer was renegade? Um, But this is ugh, young love. Anyways, yeah, I'm around. Um, come seek me out whenever you need. And Kiko, um, I think she's gonna find a place to wander off to. What she's up to, I don't exactly know yet, but I'll figure that out. Mm-hmm. Her and Sable are over by Kenjiro. Um, how about we start putting everybody all together? Um, and okay, are you just gonna go and bathe, or you gonna unpack with your friends? I think, yeah, I think this is more like we're kind of in epilogue territory for Saga 1. So I'm being very calm and chill um, with tonight, giving you guys space to talk and kind of wrap up these things. Um, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, Shirogane's gonna head off to the bath. I'm gonna put everybody else together. You guys can meet in the center of the ring while you wait for Ray to finish with Master Traley, or not Master Traley, with Master Adric. Um, Soon, Master Mineo, the leader of the Quill, the one who is overseeing dinner prep, is going to come into the sanctum and join the conversation, and Sister Casmel is standing over there too. Um, with that, though, you all have the center of the room to yourselves for a bit, as there are no other judgments to be had in the sanctum today. Um, and I think as you regroup, um, Cass's eyes keep darting towards Ray and the Order leaders before seeing Miyuki, Sai, and I don't think she knows our hero's part in this. Um, and she's gonna say, "Thank you for fighting with her. What did you say to them to get them to turn to get the to stop the fight?" A hero. Mm-hmm. That one. And they're considering it. Had to be a pretty damn good. Um, oh, excuse me. Had to be a pretty good descript or solution. Um, and Cass's glance is going to go from you to the girl following you, and she's going to say, "Tomiki, you're back. Does Dad know?" You're not going to believe half the stories I have to tell you. Um, well, wait, weren't you supposed to be out there saving the world? Things are pretty shitty out there, too. Yeah. Um, let's eat dinner together in the mess hall. Oh, this is Sable. She's a world diplomat, renowned war hero, advisor of the Silver Sigil. Did I miss any of your other titles? Um, Envoy of the Empress's Court, Envoy of the Empress Court, and Voice of the Miendeth, and Voice for the Miendeth. Um, uh, Sable's going to gesture vaguely and say, "Your relation?" Um, and Cass is just going to say, Dad looked out for her like he did Ray. Um, but, she was always older than us, too, so. Um, and Sable's going to say, ah, um, growing up in a place like this together, I can see how that bonds closer than blood. Um, Cass is gonna whisper to you. She doesn't always know that she's being rude. um, Cass is gonna point to herself and say, "Oh, Ray wouldn't let me fight. Um, you know, that idiot is in love with me, but and fortunately, unfortunately, the feeling's mutual. Um, but this," she gestures to everything in the sanctum. "I never asked for any of this. I just wanted to know, you know." Um, Cass is gonna say, "No, it didn't. I it happened while we were traveling together. Before that, she was like, I don't know, she was like Ray, you know." Um, she's going to cross her arms, turn her head away, and look. Vargo is on her shoulder. I don't know if Vargo mimics the gesture as the bird gives the cold shoulder too, but yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Cass is gonna say traitor. um, Sable is gonna say, "How about I'll let you two catch up, and I'll um stick around with Ray for tonight." Um, and Cass is gonna say, "Oh, are you sure? You're really I don't have anything else to do except also wait on her." Um, Sable's gonna say, "Please, some time alone with my thoughts would be lovely." um, Wait, do you say this before Sable leaves? Sable stops, looks over her shoulder, and turns to listen into the conversation. When isn't there? Um, she's Sable is going to speak up, and say, the surgeons of Nosendale, with intense years of research, study, and practice, some of the best medical techniques that they can devise, seldom reach over a 70 percent chance of success. There's always a risk in these types of things. As an advisor, my job is to help you assess that risk and mitigate it. If you trust me to do such a thing. Um, Sable will nod and say, "It'll be a alternative from my letter writing tonight. I can advise in a more hands-on capacity. My role doesn't prevent me from that." um, Sable, uh, yeah. Sable is going to say, as I don't believe any of you are trying to sabotage or kill me anymore. Um, she'll look to Cass and say, "I'm comfortable having some distance with my bodyguards. You guys have done a terrific job so far." Um, Cass is gonna seem a little uneasy about letting her charge go, but at which point she's going to nod um, and say, "To the alchemy lab." She looks to Sai. And Sable and Sai will head to the alchemy lab. Where's everybody else want to go? Okay. Wait, Kenjiro's there too? it is the late evening of the 6th. Okay. Um Hero, what about you? Yeah, yeah, she's talking to Ray. No, no, you've got these old farts to open their minds. I think we can work from there. You are free to be a part of those conversations if you so desire. That is beyond welcome. So a hero's going to stay here and listen? Okay. Tomoki and Cass, you guys headed to dinner, or do you want to go anywhere else? Okay. I think I want to handle a hero first, just because he's right here. Um, so I think you're going to be getting into this conversation a little bit late. Um, and Master Adric is going to. There's Master Adric, Master Mineo, and Sister Casmel here. Um, he's going to say, we can convene a council to this, and I believe um, what guide a hero doesn't have a last name. Um, what the guide of the quill told me is your oath can be um, expanded, or at least we can apply larger um, interpretations to it. Um, and Master Mineo's going to say, um, but you need some type of oath or legal tie um, to this individual, ones who can tie your purpose or tie themselves to your purpose with the scroll. Wait, Cass doesn't count as my bodyguard? She's supposed to protect my life. Um, your life, not the scrolls. Um, and Ray is gonna think about it and say, can I just see if I like her for a while before um we Sister Casmel is gonna say, kid, you've got to win on this one. Um, you get to expand your oath, and all it takes is commitment. Say yes now, find consequences later, work through them as they come. Um, right. Uh, okay. I can agree to that. Do I need to get Cass to sign anything? Um, Master Mineo will say a nihilori oath should suffice. And let me Emmy load real quick to make sure I'm using the right word. And I think Cass is going to go a little bit flush for color with that. Nihilori? It would suffice for your for the oath of the scroll bearer too. These things can exist with one another. Huh. Okay. Can I think about it? Casmel was going to look back to the other three and say, we need to smooth this over with the other Orieths. Just as much as the spirits aren't ours alone to command, the scroll is not simply yours to make decisions upon. The great truth belongs to all of Ilderon. Take the night, Ray. Ray's going to nod at this. And she'll say, Master Adric, you weren't on the side with the other Orieth leaders. Were you going to kill me? Or try to? You are one of the brightest pupils in a generation that I've trained. I just wish to simply see and test my work. There's a little bit of like glowingness or glowing at the praise, and then like hesitation at the, oh man, my master wants to throw down with me. And Ray is gonna bow and say, I pray we get the opportunity to do so soon. Hopefully not soon enough, Master Adric. Will nod. And I think at that, there might be a little bit of friendly talk exchanged. I'm going to give you a free recall action, a hero, for a little bit of information. I don't think I've ever mentioned this to this group before. The Nihilori Oath. And it's worth giving. I feel like a hero would know what it is. You'll get information on tiers of 5, so you get tier 2. It's more organized here than it used to be. Nihilori is kind of like the ancient way of ancestors and of Milsarai. It is the idea that every soul has one equal and opposite soul weighted and forged together, that they are meant to wander the worlds to take on great quests, and to do all of these things, because by constantly being in this movement, every step brings you closer to finding who your Nihilori soulmate is. And I think moving to tier 2 on that it is way, way, way less practice today. Um, the idea of Nihilori, and um, it's more so kind of organized, and a lot of families like setting people up who they think would be like compatible with each other. Um, and for somebody to step out and claim this, or to pursue Nihilori, um, is kind of everything that you were arguing and debating. It is essentially saying, I am like half a soul, and I am finding somebody else who is that other half, that, the two smaller pieces to make a greater whole. Um, which is a big commitment for a 16-year-old girl, um, to kind of acknowledge someone as her soulmate. Um, and I think that that is as like as much as you get on like a tier 2, for that. And for whatever purposes of notes, it's spelled Nihilori. Um, it's one of the cultural marriage traditions of the side of the continent. Um, Anyways, yeah, and I think after a bit of small talk, that this group is done. Um, and Ray is going to turn and look at you and say, you found all of that stuff about Nihilori, didn't you? Did you not think I could win? Thank you. Truly. Uh, Ray bows very graciously. And she's gonna say, I've been traveling with you guys for days. Um, this is the kindest thing I think you've done for me, and I don't know if I've ever seen you not think about work before. You ever think about Nihilori? Well, you'll never find anyone if you don't move. No, I'm going to bestow the same gift that you've bestowed upon me. Um, and Ray is going to grin and say, there's got to be someone out there, um, just as focused and stern, um, and intense a reader as you. Um, she's going to nod and say, I'll have a list of the people that I know by tomorrow. You can go over them and say yes or no. um, Ray will like run her fingers over her lips, sealing them, um, locking, um, and she will hand you the key. It's a metaphorical key. I think she's gonna yell at me. Right? I should get it over with now. Ray. Slugs. Slumps and it's gonna. Yeah, I just fought for the right to love this girl who's gonna berate me. So excited to see my girlfriend. She does not say that. Um, she's gonna nod, um, and just say, "I don't know if this is gonna work or not because we're so different." Um, but to say this, to make this claim to the gods, to the spirits, feels like we invite fate to keep pushing us back together, even if we decide we shouldn't. But I shouldn't be pessimistic just getting started. I take the win now, say yes, and deal with the consequences and problems later. How did Sister Casmil say it? She's so profound. Um, Ray, again, will bow and she'll just start beatboxing a little bit under her breath as she walks away. Just, come on, Ray, you got this. It's I don't know. She goes into probably her own pump up speech. Um, okay. Do you want to head anywhere with a hero? It is getting late at night, so retiring to your chambers is not at all bad. Um, okay. Um, let's see. Let's do. I want to give Shirogane. Shirogane Miyuki and Kanjiro. A scene. Um, I want. I want you to roll a because I don't think it's quite late at night because Ray's fights was supposed to start at sundown. Um, so I think it's like mid evening, probably that eight like 8 to 9 ish feel. Um, so I want you to roll me a d4, and I'm going to say one, it's still preference bathing time. Um, for people who prefer to bathe with women and non-binary people. Two, preference bathing time for people who prefer to bathe with men and non-binary people. Three, free bathing time tonight on the schedule. Four, suspiciously, the bathhouse is empty. Um, and I think that's being like, no, that's most like I feel like that's being honest to the world. Yeah. Okay, two. So yeah, it's preference bathing. For yeah. Now it's worth noting other people can bathe at this time, but this is just the time the monastery marks out for people who have preferences. Um, okay. Yeah. You'll go to the temple baths. Um, and I think it is like a Roman like bathhouse here. Um, I think there are people chatting, sitting on the edge of the pool. Because a good number of the people in the monastery, like you guys have to think, one of the things Daridel does is they kind of like do apiaries and run the fields and gather from their orchard and stuff and produce food for the region. And I think like with that labor, you get a lot of very built people, and then there's a lot of other people who tone their bodies here to match like their mind and stuff. Like I think it's like probably, and there are probably people here who do more of the work at in the libraries and things. So I would think that there's probably a really good mix out here tonight. As far as people you know, I don't think I'm gonna point or poke at anyone. But yeah, Shirogane, I think you can find a spot that is relatively alone in the bathhouse, as I feel most people probably wouldn't even talk to you because you don't ever really come at preference time, right? You come at when, yeah. Okay, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I think you get to a place, like, yeah, I, uh, I'm just gonna keep giving you, I'm gonna keep giving you microaggressions for tonight. Um, you find like a place of like moderate privacy next to like a wall or a pillar that you can sit down with. There two guys on a bench in the water, chatting with one another, and they see you sit down and they're just gonna get up and say, um, "Come, let's go get dinner for the night." Clothes first, the other one says. Of course, you know it. And they are going to leave literally as Shirogane sits down. Yeah. I think I will give you, Jordan, a few minutes. And then I'll throw Miyuki and Kenjiro in this scene. So, are you trying to see if your sword has an aura of color right now? I don't think this sense extends to your sword. Um, and I feel like I want you to roll a world die. And I think I'm going to contest you on this. On the hard tier. Yo, you're doing so much stuff. Um, well, I was going to tell you what you have to beat. I did roll and it is a six, but you already rolled. So, um, yeah. And I think like you go and you feel kind of this deep well of something within your sword. And more so than you ever have, you feel, um, I don't, I want to say space. Yeah, I feel like space in your sword, and it's a very weird feeling because it's not hollow space. Um, it's the presence of so you know how you feel when you're like sitting in your room and somebody's like over your shoulders and you feel like a presence in that space um and you're just kind of aware in the space, and that is less so than when you are like against a wall and somebody's like on the other side of the wall, um where I think that it feels like there is a presence in a shape and in a space that doesn't match just the length of your blade and hilt. Not necessarily that there is someone, but I think for the first time you start getting close. Yeah. Uh, um, and I think as you do, you see in the distance walking into the outdoor baths. Um, it makes sense. Kenjiro. Um, he'd come in at this preference bathing time. Wait, Miyuki? I guess she can't technically not be here. Not behind. They came in together. Yeah. Yeah, you. Yeah, I will say, Miyuki, you are probably drawing a little bit of attention. Um, it's Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's novel for like um 30 to 40 seconds of like, ooh, boobs. Um and ever so often, like, people are like looking up. But then eventually I think like that, like, you know, teenage boy energy just kind of fades. It's like, oh yeah, everybody needs to bathe, everybody needs to do stuff. She's probably here hanging out with someone, and people go back to their business. It's not, again, yeah, and I would say I do think that there's probably some femme leaning, like non binary people here and stuff who are like more submerged in the water or something. So, again, I don't think it's like the most scandalous affair. Yeah. I think this technically counts as our third microaggression against Shirogane this session. um, so is the game plan to bathe for the night? um, I want. I need a chaperone. Um, I do want to jump in. And kind of microaggression Shirogane again. I'm kidding. Um, I do want to say Kenjiro Miyuki Shirogane, mark a help track. Um, and you know what? It wasn't with a fellow player, but I also want to give one to Hero too. Um, yeah, I'm debating that. But I feel like I don't know. It was a really good moment of bonding, so I'm gonna give it for a Hero too. Yeah. Hey, the idea of Nihilori is like constant movement because you never know when your true love is going to find you or where they're going to find you. They're always out there calling to you, and you have to respond to that wanderlust. And sometimes that wanderlust just means walking into the men's night chambers. um, I will say, you guys, like I said, it was like that 8 o'clock transitioning to 9 o'clock. time frame, so I'll say that like preference like bathing hours are probably coming to an end, and like that late night anyone bathing hours is going to take effect soon. Not that I'm putting the scene on a timer. I'll I'm going to let you, Jordan, um, decide evens or odds. Evens, I leave the scene here. Odds, wait, no, that's not fair. That's me deciding. Okay, you you call it evens or odds. I rolled a fucking two. Um, well, it's not that I was rolling for. But also there's a there I can make you guys a play by post channel, so but anyways, I'm we're we're a fucking adult server. I mean, I don't want yeah, I was gonna say I don't yeah. I I do not want I don't want explicit like crazy stuff, but I like Homeseekers has a play by post channel. I can make like one for this group. So, anyways, that said, what you were rolling for is I'm going to overview a scene so it doesn't kill your guys' tension. The public bathing hours do come to an end, um, and or the bathing hours do come to an end. In the non-preference hours, eventually showing up, May comes to the chambers, or to the bathing hall, and she will take a seat near you guys, and her general um, vibe, she asks you guys 1,000 questions, to which she says, just, helping me get my grasp and footing, handling the spirits in the sanctum. What do they like? What do they, how did you guys make them? Etc. And I think maybe by like the 15th question that you and Miyuki are getting up and like finding a different place to spend the evening. Um, and then we'll fade to black from there. It yeah. She is always lurking, trying to learn more about stuff. That is her job. Okay, so let's see. We got Sai and Sable, or Tamaki and Cass. Do either of you want to go first, or do you want me to roll a die? Okay. Zoe, you were saying something? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll balance the scales against your guys' politeness. I got two middle fingers up at my webcam. I'm just so explicit tonight. um, okay. Yeah. You guys can go to the dining hall. Um, I think probably whatever is being made here is likely some fresh harvests from the gardens as a lot of like the food that stores well, and a lot of the food that stores well and can be shipped well is given out on the stairs each day, and sent to some of the local villages. Um, and I think this meal would probably be like maybe like cabbage and windfall, um, maybe some sort of like very thin tomato soup, um, with bits of herbs and other things in it. Um, just probably not the most appealing meal, but fresh enough, delightful enough. Um, Fair enough. Um, and probably proteins. It is not meat. Probably some form of nut. Um, that said, as you guys get your bowls, um, and you find a table in the hall to sit at, um, I don't know if Cass like has stopped talking, um, and she will have been going over of just like everything um, that has happened since you've been gone. How somebody tried to frame and set up Sable, and she thought it was the people working on the Spirit Project, and her and Cass got assigned to protect Sable while she's in the monastery, which has entailed caused them to venture outside of the monastery for the first time, um, and start roaming the region. And all of the things that kind of happened up until then, heading down how destroyed Ikawa was, um, heading down the road to Makiba, um, and um, she fought a horde of ninjas and Ikawa with Rei. Um, nearly nearly died, got knocked out, poisoned to death. Um, there, uh, they knocked out at least over a dozen of the um, oh, what are they called? Jardobi Spirit Blades. Um, the elite protectors of Morzia who guard the who's who. Um, and I think that last one comes with a bit of a brag, all the way into um, in the house of the counselor of Makiba, Counselor Tanil, um, and um, Ray, or Cassoulet. I think like that's probably where we joined them. Um, Cass and Tomiki, and she's gonna say, and so there we were. We're all just sitting around waiting for Sable to go on her date and to have like a fun evening with this counselor we all know she likes. And I just start thinking how much fun they must be having, how nice it is, how I'd want to do that, but like with who? You know, like all I've ever known is trying to keep up with Ray, um, trying to not let her get too far from me, and even doing my best. Look, she's the scroll bearer. But if I had to think of anybody I wanted to do an afternoon like that with, it would have been her. And I started teasing her about it, and she mentioned her oaths, and she wouldn't even consider the question, and everybody in the room, they were being stupid. Um, and I just got so frustrated, and I felt like there was this thing inside my chest that was like exploding to get out, and I didn't even know what it was. And the day goes by, and eventually Kinjiro talks to me, and at some point in all of that, maybe it was uh, maybe it was Power Rangers Ninja Storm, maybe it's the Ninja Swarm. Um, Maybe it was just sitting through mind boring lectures as two nerds talked about the scroll. Maybe it was the path on the road, the talking, laughing, sharing a meal. Um, Somewhere in there, I started to feel more for her. Um, and then once I realized that, God, everything was different, I just couldn't look at her without thinking of, like, you know, yeah. Anyways, I told her, um, and the damn idiot wouldn't even think about it. She said, oh, why would I waste time thinking about that? I'm the scroll bear. I can't have a relationship. And it's like, yes, but you still have feelings. What are your feelings? Um, After talking for a while, um, she finally came to me in the night we got back to the monastery, and we discussed, and or no, actually, it wasn't when they had got back to the monastery. That's an me flaw. It was right before they left Mahiba. Um, we discussed it. Um, she admitted she had also developed feelings for me, um, and I think they were just as strong as mine, but she couldn't pursue them because of her oath, and I couldn't keep being friends like this, feeling like torn apart every time between what I had to do and what I wanted to do. Ah, so we ended our friendship, and we were bodyguard and scroll bearer. I hated it, but I mean, it was kind of easy. I just didn't think about her, didn't talk to her, avoided her. And then we get back to the monastery, and she does all of that in the room. For me or for her, I don't even know. She has fought half the monastery to change her oath. And you know what she said to me? You know what she said to me? Um, she said, uh, and I quote, "If we're not going to be friends, I can't, and I can't date you because of my oaths. One of those things has to change." Uh, we changed our friendship, and she won. So what does that mean now? Do I have to, like, run into her arms like some damsel at the end of a story? Uh huh. And I think it is. Um, Zoe, give me a recall action real quick, and then I'll let you continue this. I think I'll contest you on the easy die. Um, yeah, you're trying to beat a one. Anyways, that's still tier two. And I just think, like, I wanted to point some things out through this whole story. She tells you of everything that's been happening at the monastery, all of um the youth who are being swept away and consumed by their anger and the spirits that they're enraging. They are not at all the focus of this. You learn all of this from the between the lines. This is Cass's love life. And in the background of each of these events, you're just like, should I make note of that? Is that what I'm supposed to be helping a hero with? Um, so much, and I think like that tier two. Um, I don't think Cass does not tell you resolutions to any of that stuff. And so I think just Tamaki as a character has all of your metagame knowledge as a player that you are there. Yeah. Cass is going to nod, listening. Hey, you don't know what I'm capable of. Um, it's just, um, I don't know. She didn't even ask me, and I'm not a trophy. And when you say that, there's a like kind of half daydreaming smile on Cass's face that I think quickly gets wiped away when you say that. She's good at. I like her ambition. It's like I don't know an arrow, and it has a direction, and you know where to go, and you can point and shoot just as much and as far. Um, I don't know. It's like she gives purpose to the people around her. Um, and I've always found that with her. Um, but can she still be that like arrow if we're um oh shit. Ray is walking up to your guys' table. Um so yeah, Dad's been good. Uh Cass says casually. Mm-hmm. Um Ray walks up to the table um with you guys. And she's gonna say hey, tomato soup. Love that one. Hey, Cass, do you want to make a Nihilori oath? Um, Cass is going to look at you, look at Ray. Um, I think, uh, she stands up, slaps Ray across the face. I'm going to my chambers for the night. Uh, good night. And walks away. Wait, Ray says, rubbing her face. She she wanted me to change my. Oh, I just. What does she want? Mhm. Um, she's gonna say, "Welcome back, by the way. I saw you in the list to fight me." Um, she told me to. Well, I mean, she didn't say do this, but I told her. Go ahead. They said I don't have to change my oath. Um, if Cass is tied to the scroll and my purpose, and not just keeping me alive, they need her legally tied in, whatever that means. Um, they said a ritual of Neo Lori. Ray just puts her head face down on the table. Um, she is gonna say, "All I ever wanted to do was be the scroll bearer. I don't get the rest of this." Um, Ray will raise her head and say, "Okay, um, glad you're back. Um, you have any cool stories or adventures? Cass tell you what we've been through?" Wait, what did she say about me? um, Ray is gonna grumble and uh, just say, "You don't have to worry about all that. They got Sister Casmil called all of those teachers and old people back to the monastery. Um, they've been handling stuff. They're, I don't know, kind of good at it. A hero, Shirogane Miyuki, Kenjiro Sai. And other than that time Sable tried to kill us, she's really smart too. So I don't know. This is like why we have adults, right?" You think you learned more from Indrakiko than you could have from than somebody from Yakul's Blade? Mm-hmm. Oh, did Cass tell you we knocked out like 30 of them? Mm-hmm. Um, how how about I'm looking at the time. How do you feel if I say Tamaki and Ray can sit talking into the night, and then I jump over to E for the? Okay. Um, Maybe they kind of talk about adventures for a little bit before she finishes up and goes to bed. All right. Sai. Um, in your room, you and Sable are going to head to your laboratory. Um, and I think Sable is very constantly a very pensive and responsive character. And as much as I like want to say maybe she's been trying to engage you with conversation, I think she's the type that it almost feels piercing as you guys are walking, to have her like as you're walking through the monastery, as she watches you ever so often, and that just way that she does where she kind of looks at everything and analyzes everything. um but otherwise it's a very quiet walk up to your room unless you want to say anything to her. Can you clarify that sentence to me so I can understand it properly from the character's perspective? Oh, okay, okay. I follow. She's going to say, I dismiss my bodyguards. That's gotta count for something towards trust. I mean, you saw what I did while I was unconscious. Um, I think if it came down to a fight between us, she shakes her head. No, I was saying if you tried to assassinate me. Sable is going to exhale and say, "It's been a few years for me. I try to go back to the Vale every time before I need to feed." Um, she's going to shake her head and say, "No, Yumea and I have goals. Every time I return, it's a chance to refocus, reorient, and update our plans." Um, If you have questions for me, I will say I do have questions for you. This Hilgen event, um, my predecessor, as much as we dislike him, um, his advice and his briefing on the monastery, most of which has stood the test of time, the knowledge he gave me. Brief me on what happened there. This moon cursed tore apart a significant portion of the monastery. Um, I've heard stories of Huntborn, um, curses rolling off of their skin like water on a feather of a duck. How many individuals after the event did you have to treat in the infirmary for the pale brand? Many moon curse carry an infectious curse. It's very similar to the blight in that sense. And this Hilgen, how long was she showing signs of losing control of her um, ability to grasp sanity through the pale brand? I have a theory about you, Sai Oga. Um, Sable is going to smile and say that you are the wrong person for this job. Um, that if I had the choice or ability to assemble this team and this group, that I would have elected or sought out somebody else. Um, that hypothesis is based in the idea that when it comes down to it, I don't think you have the ability to make the decisions that need to be made. Um, and in that, perhaps maybe you are the right person for the job. A temperate, measured hand, even when the time demands action. Once again, I'm coming into this picking up pieces, and I work what I have with what I have, not with what I want. Um, I will say, before you get to your alchemy lab, um, there is I need to check my notes. Oh yeah. You're fine. There is a member of Yakul's Blade um, who is leaned against the wall, arm against the wall outside of your door. Indra Kiko is there, her back on the wall. She has her hand on the man's collar and is smiling and talking under her breath to him, pulled close to her face. When you guys come, she lets him go. Uh, he'll stand up and say, uh, "Guide." Oh, Mass. Sai. He nods, straightens up his clothes, and he'll say, "Indra." She smiles, bites her lip. He's going to walk away. Um, she's going to look at you guys as you are approaching and say, "You wanted me? What?" Oh, the Asunji Firecat? Oh, Vanefire? Um, she's gonna bite her lip and say, "Nasty stuff. Um, Vanefire. I never seen it in action, but I've heard about it. Uh, I had a friend get poisoned, had to read a book on antivenoms. Um, a lot of that stuff is toxic or um, I don't know, dirty and stuff, and just making the right stuff that kills or neutralizes it. I honestly just followed the instructions. Um, it was out. Um, it was out west near the Alian border. Didn't have many options. Yeah, but not that you'd want to use. Um, she'll pull out a small little belt pouch that she has, um, and toss it to you. Um, E, you get a little red vial of liquid, no bigger than about 3 inches. Um, it is warm to the touch. And she'll say, I love the stuff. Makes every dish worth eating. Um, I made that myself. Um, it's fire cap. Um, fire cap hot sauce. Um, burns all the way down, even for the night until it's digested and worked its way through. Could keep you warm on a winter's night. You never had rabbit out in the field as good as with some of that on it. But if you need it fresh, I can get you some. I doubt you can grow it here. Um, to get the that everlasting fire effect on it, you need a volcano or some living ley line in fire. Yeah. You. How about a recall action? And I'm not going to contest you on this. I think the information you're looking for is probably tier two. Um, okay, yeah. I'll say for you, tier one. Yeah, your grove can probably keep growing. Stuff like this. It Your grove makes plants grow faster, but it doesn't auto. What's the word? Um, it doesn't auto make the conditions for plant growth. So if I think of it more like a programmer. If the plant would grow, it grows 10 times faster. If the plant would not grow, it doesn't speed anything up. That said, though, you can simulate the conditions needed for plants to grow in your grove. Like, when you put a flower there, you need to pot it in soil and things so it can grow. If you just put like a cut or clipped flower or something there, like a flower seed, it doesn't really do anything in your grove. So to answer your question, yes, you do need to create the conditions for the plants that and the tier two is creating the conditions for the plants. And I think you could reasonably get some, what I would think, either enchanted soil, burning effect, fire spirit, or something to um, keep like a trowel of like fire caps at least sated with enough like magic and fire to have the conditions for growth that your growth would probably enable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll see what I can trade when I go into town tomorrow. Supplies from Red Axe, though, are probably going to get thin. They're at war again. She's gonna brush a hand forward and say, "Acquisitions are my specialty. You need something found? I find it. Ask a hero." All right. Um, do you uh do you want to keep the hot sauce or do you give it back to her? Yeah, she'll take the fire cap hot sauce, put it back in her pouch, um, and I don't think we're gonna ask any questions about what Indra's going to be up to tonight. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people in this monastery that are pent up, especially when you have to live life as a monk. Um, th- all right. Um, let's. Is everybody cool if we end there for the night? I had plans to introduce Saga 2 tonight, but how about we introduce Saga 2 at the start of next session? And there'll be no downtime. Or I don't need extra time to prepare. Our next scheduled date is the 1st, and I would no. Our next scheduled date is the 1st, and I'm good to run Saga 2 on the 1st. All right. I hope this was a little pleasant epilogue to kind of the last little things we've been doing and a little introduction to Tamaki. Um, oh, Tomiki, I'm sorry. Tomiki. Well, no, I was reading it Tom, like Tom Oki. But Tomiki, got it. Okay, let's do end of session questions. Oh God, anything I can ask tonight, I just feel like it's a resounding yes. So I want to ask stuff that gives me the most the most joy in kind of basking in what you guys found were big. Was there a meaningful moment for your character this session? Yeah. I yeah. Okay. That's fine. I think the only character I didn't get to swing a big emotional moment at was Kanjiro tonight. Um, and I just couldn't kind of get him to the right places to get those. Um, do you think? Do you think that microaggression? I swear to God, if you guys had rolled an odd, I was gonna kill the energy with May. I was gonna do it. She was coming regardless, but it was. Okay. Okay. How about does anybody have any predictions or hopes for the next session? I know that that's kind of big with so many open storylines and characters on the horizon. Um, I have one prediction, but I think for me to share any prediction, it's like a spoiler. So fair. Um, no, no, no. Sai had asked her earlier if he could talk to her later tonight. Yeah, that was her way being polite to Sai. That was not her being rude to Sai. um, I I'd also like to gesture. Look, a straight person. I did it. I introduced a straight person. Wait, is she only the second? There's gotta be somebody else who's straight in this campaign. Well, most of these people are monks. That's not even fair. Uh, all right, let's see. Okay, what about? I think I want to make a question here, and I would say, what moment? Because I just feel like all of these are yes, but for me, the fun of this is kind of seeing what stuck and what didn't. What moment do you think from tonight's session's going to linger in the back of your character's mind, except for Jordan and Shadow? Okay. Okay, go for it. Go for it. It's open to everybody. What do you think that there is something discussed tonight that's going to stick with you and either haunt or guide you? Okay. I think 3 experience for tonight. We will officially end our session there. I'm going to reset everybody's dice to D4s for Saga 2. Um, and and wait. Everybody, before you start advancing and doing math, Shirogane, your point value is 250. I think that puts you, let's see, a hero, you're at 140. Um, okay. So, Jordan, you won't, um, ad- yeah, you won't advance, the 250. Or you're at 250, right? And you're going, oh, okay, okay. Two, no, you're fine. You are fine. You 250, it puts you exactly 100 points over a hero. So your next advancement is going to go to a hero. Um it's a it, it's kind of like a polyheal. Um it's a harvest circle. If you're watching the stream, you are welcome to come hang out with us. Goodbye.